This is Chelsea, anyone. This is Chelsea against an all-stars of the world. N'Golo Kante makes it.
As a player, I think Fabinho is actually probably just edges Kante. As a DM...
Brother, stop.
Yeah.
You're smiling at me. You couldn't even say that with a straight face.
No, I think on the ball he's better than Kante, and I think defensively there's not too much of an argument, but the two different
I think he's got less
players.
variety than Kante though. He can dribble as
variety
well,
in terms of
Kante.
width. Yeah, so can Fabinho.
What?
Mr. Jennings,
Feeling good about this, Saturday, Steve?
Good to see you again. How are we, Steve, old lad?
How you doing, my G? Yes, the boys.
Good to see you again, my mate.
As much as I love seeing you, and your company is obviously something that I dream of at night, this is not going to be good for me.
But lads, let me explain what we've got to do here. So, you're both teams, and you have to pick a combined 11. If you both can't agree, I have the final decision.
You're the king.
I'm the king, bruv. Today, I want to start with the right back position, because I think that's probably where it's going to be most tricky.
Oh, do you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon.
Sweet.
You don't think?
I like Reece James, I do. I think he's boss, lads. I'd actually love him in the Liverpool squad as a backup. I think that'd be amazing. I really do.
It might be Aspilicueta though, no?
No, it'd be Reece James. Reece James would definitely be my shout here. Trent Alexander-Arnold is a phenomenal footballer. Absolutely phenomenal footballer. The question is he a phenomenal defender? Do you think that this is undoubtedly
do you know what it is? I really think Reece James's ability is, I always say he's the second best right back in the league, and I think he's actually one of the best right backs in the world. So I don't want it to seem like that I'm just disregarding him in a way, but it's because of how highly I rate Trent, to be honest, with his footballing ability and also the improvement offensively.
You actually think Trent's a bad defender, or you going on the general, because he plays against each season. He's playing against.
I know you don't believe this, but that's a stereotype.
He's
because
playing
of his
against
first
13 of the best players every year with the Champions League and the top 4 that he's playing against, and you don't get found out.
No, I think I don't think he's a bad defender at all. I don't buy into that narrative. I think it's very lazy to just simply say he's not a good defender, because he is a good defender.
This is why I like Rory, man.
What
I the man of these.
But what I would say is that when you look at that brilliant Liverpool back line, he's definitely the side that you attack. He's definitely it's not that he's the weak link. True. He's not the weak link at all, because he's a phenomenal footballer who contributes so much to the team. But he just isn't as good as a defender as, say, Andy Robertson.
Reece James can cross, he can shoot and stuff like that, but Trent can do all the same things. You know, you saw the goal he scored against Newcastle. He's got the most assists in the league. Yeah. I think that's significant.
What's he added to the right back position?
What hasn't he added to the right back position is what you should be asking in terms of the passes that he springs from here to here. This is what I love, by the way, SPORTbible. Well done to you. I can let you know where the play. He passes it from over there, he switches the ball, the way that he plays it down the line to Salah, and even the little through ball that he gets through here. Unbelievable the way he can get it in.
It's amazing.
So this is one, Steve, I'm afraid I'm not going to fall on my sword here. I'm standing true. So, Reece James.
So that's what we're going with. I'm going to have to hurry you up.
The last thing I'm going to say before you come up with your answer, statistically Trent is better, trophies Trent is better, going forward Trent is better, and I think defensively it's very, very close, so I'll let you go
Team
with that
awards.
As you
go
will.
Reece James is currently champion of the world and champion of Europe. Currently.
But he's never won the league, and that's not his fault.
If we're going to go down stats, it's currently.
Trent just took a trophy off.
He hasn't played for 6 months.
Boys. So, just so I'm correct.
Still played the majority of the game.
We're not agreeing here.
Oh, 100.
No, we're not agreeing.
I love Rory, and he makes some great points, but I can't.
So straight away,
mate, come on, this is your moment. You're meant to be the king. What sort of king are you?
Listen, I'm giving you a
passive
moment.
King. Make your move.
Boys, but that's it now. Silence. The fact that your argument is against Trent's defending, I don't think it's as bad as people make out.
Come on, man. Let's not forget to mention Reece James isn't a perfect defender.
No.
He might be good, and he might even be better than Trent, but he's certainly not perfect.
It was a valiant effort, but for me...
1-0 down.
You're 1-0 down, and I think Trent gets the right
so the hardest part is out the way. Thank you very much, my mate.
Put that there, Goose.
Yeah, man. There you go, fella.
There you go.
1-0 down.
So usually, again, we'd probably go to the right centre half, but bun that. I'm going to go to the front three.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Let's get out of the way.
No, but this is
a great conversation.
This is aggressive.
Come on,
this is aggressive. I'm 1-0 down and then you do that.
Come on, Timo Havertz scores in a final.
That's unjust. Because I'm 1-0 down and you've gone straight there, knowing full well that I don't have a dog in the fight.
I want you to end well, mate.
I'll do the combined front three, Chelsea and Liverpool.
What then?
Mohamed Salah.
Yeah, on the right.
Roberto Firmino.
Yeah, man.
Sadio Mane.
Yeah, man. Nah, but get on this, though. But get on this. It might not even be Bobby Firmino.
Of course it is. No. I know what you're going to say. No, I know what you're going to say. It's not Jota.
No, it defo could
be.
It's
Firmino.
He's your number 9, right? But I know he plays deeper, right?
Yeah.
Does he score enough goals, or do you not care about that?
This is why I don't like the argument with City getting so much praise for them winning the league all the time. We have literally won the league, the Champions League, 2 Champions League finals with no striker. Bobby Firmino is not a striker. Okay. We're talking about him playing there. He plays here, mate. Yeah. And then he actually plays it from there. These 2 cut inside, and then we end up with the results that we do.
He's a class actor.
Firmino is unbelievable, technically unreal, creatively boss, but on top of that, you cannot ignore the absolute brilliance that Diogo Jota has brought since he's in the club. Consistent numbers, consistent good performances, and also some big goals as well.
Roberto Firmino is everything I want Romelu Lukaku to be. I was desperate for Chelsea to sign Lukaku.
Yes.
I thought he was the answer. I really did. I thought he's exactly what we need. We won the European Cup. We needed a striker to lead the line, somebody who was desperate to play for Chelsea. So we thought, there was footage of him as a 16-year-old walking around Stamford Bridge, wanting to follow in the footsteps of Didier Drogba, all of that. I thought, right, Lukaku is the man. He will have learnt from his time under Conte. And do you remember the conversations that people used to have about his time at Manchester United? Does he score against big teams? I thought that was over. How's his first touch? I thought that was rectified. Turns out that whether all of those questions are right or wrong, or whether they still exist, it doesn't matter, because he doesn't want to play for the club. He has been a totally disruptive presence and has effectively ruined Chelsea's season.
Can I ask you this though? Who would your first choice out of the Chelsea front 3 be?
I think our front 3 is Kai Havertz as a false 9. Chelsea's best form this season has been with Kai Havertz as a false 9.
I agree with that.
He's the only one that I could realistically put on the table that you could then just dismiss immediately. But he's the one, if I put him on the table, I don't look like a complete moron. If I put Lukaku on the table, or I put, what am I going to say? Hakim Ziyech over Mohamed Salah.
It is peak for you, to be fair.
Yeah, this front 3 is SPORTbible have done me a mischief here. Can we have done a nostalgic one and done 2005, where it's a Chelsea 11 with Gerrard? Can we have done that?
I'm going to say something that the comments are probably going to have a go at me for, which is sound. I've had loads of stick before. Mane's the best left winger in the world. And I know we've got Neymar, not as consistent as Mane.
Mbappe play left wing?
Yeah.
Only just started playing left wing. I still think you've got to edge it to Mane. But it's not clear, whereas Salah right now is clear, like, in my opinion, clear the best player in the world.
So I think we've got our answers, right?
The answer was never in debate. It's a lovely conversation, but we could have, before we sat down, Steve, and you put this together, you could have put 3 Liverpool players up.
So go ahead, Mane, lad, you go there. My man Bobby is right, and Mohamed Salah, the boy.
He's right.
Wow, a Liverpool 3. You are struggling, Rory.
Struggling, I know. Can we just, because you're throwing salt into the wounds, you're making me debate things that don't need a debate. I reckon, can you just put Andy Robertson there, and then it's done? Because otherwise, what are you going to do? You're going to start making me make a case for Marcus Alonso.
Shout out to Benjamin, though.
Yeah, but he's just been injured. Yeah. If it was a different story, like that goes there. Of course it does. And I also think Virgil van Dijk is obviously in this team.
Yeah.
Like, he's obviously in this team. So,
can I argue though? And again, devil's advocate right here. Van Dijk. Has he been as elite as usual since his injury?
I've liked you to this point, Stevo, listen.
Has he been better than Rudiger?
Oh, mate, my chest would be so much more up if we were on Zoom or something right now, but you're significantly bigger than I am.
Mate.
You're significantly bigger than I am, so I don't want to call you stupid in person. That being said...
I'll do it on the internet, though.
Over
What's your at? I've got something to say to you.
Over Zoom, it'd be game over. But Virgil van Dijk, mate, listen, at the end of the day, the only reason why he might have dropped off a little bit, and it might seem that way, is because he was so flawless before, but even since he's came back, I'm sorry, he's led the back line. On the ball, there's probably no centre-back like him in the league.
So, here, however, we can talk. Like this one, I'm going to fight for.
So, I'm going to make it easy for you. Yeah. This is Thiago Silva. It's Thiago Silva. I love Joel Matip. My giraffe. My giraffe, lads. The way he dribbles through plays. Have you seen his little runs?
And the boys love it,
don't they? Joel Matip is world class. Top 5 centre-backs in the league, no doubt about it. But Thiago Silva, my mate, outside of Virgil van Dijk, is the best.
Mate, you're smiling when you said that, and I want to know, because you're a Liverpool fan, you watch every week. Is he that good?
He is that good. Yeah. He is that good. I remember on a previous episode on another show that we done on this channel, someone was trying to put Harry Maguire into those conversations. Oof. Shout out to KG. That being said, in this one, I will just have to concede.
KG the comedian.
Thiago Silva is unbelievable. And never did I think he was going to come to the Premier League and actually lead the back line the way that he has.
That's amazing.
Unreal.
Unbelievable.
No, you're absolutely right.
Really free.
The way that he plays a game is just unbelievable.
On the ball, the clearances that he makes off the line, his pace, the fact he can keep up with the game.
We've given him a new contract already. I think...
And rightly so.
Do you know what? I would actually go so far as saying with him, you know, if you were to do a Chelsea all-time 11, I think he's now in that kind of conversation. He is truly sensational.
Could you imagine these two together?
Oh, they never concede a goal.
My man literally left PSG and won the Champions League, mate, at 36. By the way, I am so sorry. Do you know this back four? You've got a right back who, in terms of ability, is unbelievable. Centre-backs both can pass, both can actually go forward, but they can defend amazingly well. And then you've got Robbo as well with the energy. I think that back four is
unstoppable. The only regret with Thiago Silva, if we'd signed him when we should have done.
Never got him
He would have been partnered with John Terry. Like, it would have been a dream partnership. They would have played so well together.
All right, boys, we're going to move on to holding midfield. And
so,
for me...
Are we talking about Fabinho versus the third in the Ballon d'Or race? Or who's
no, we're not. N'Golo Kante is the best in the world at what he does.
And that wouldn't be Henderson. That's Fabinho, yeah?
No.
But the only one that can actually compete with Kante is Fabinho. And for me, this is N'Golo Kante. I think N'Golo Kante is probably one of Chelsea's only 2 or 3 genuinely world-class players. What N'Golo Kante does is unlike anything I've ever seen before. And I've been very blessed in terms of the players that I've had the privilege of watching now.
He's on steroids.
I've seen Michael Essien on form. I've seen Claude Makélélé at his best. I've seen players play in that position. Obviously, Ballack, Lampard, central midfielders. But N'Golo Kante is, again, probably in a Chelsea all-time 11. I just don't see how any combined 11. This doesn't matter whether it's Chelsea, Liverpool. This is Chelsea, anyone. This is Chelsea against an all-stars of the world. N'Golo Kante makes it.
As a player, I think Fabinho is actually probably just edges Kante. As a DM...
Brother, stop. You're smiling at me. You couldn't even say that with a straight face.
No, I think on the ball he's better than Kante, and I think defensively there's not too much of an argument, but the two different types of players. I think he's got less variety
than Kante though.
He can dribble as well, Kante. Yeah, so can Fabinho.
What?
I reckon, James, the way that you're appraising Fabinho, I kind of agree with. And I reckon if you were having this debate with anyone who didn't support Chelsea, I reckon Fabinho gets in. I can't think. I mean, maybe Rodri.
I don't think I do. No. I don't think I do. I do think I'm in a loop.
Declan, what?
Oh, Declan gets in there above all of them, by the way.
Above
Kante. It's not about that. It's not about that. Above Kante, I'd move him, mate. Are you kidding me?
Let's bring the big news to the table.
You're just laughing at me with that.
Hey, what have you put in his drink? You're bringing Declan Rice to the conversation.
So, boys, I think we've actually got a decision here, and I think it's Kante, right?
2 on the board. The comeback is on, James.
That's fine. I'd even say Kante. I don't like it. You know what I mean?
Thank you very much.
I'll give you the honours.
Thank you.
There you go.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Oh, there's a bit more blue than I'd like to see.
One sec, let's have a look. Ooh.
So 2 midfielders.
This could end up evens. You know?
Oh, no, it won't. This is easy from now on.
Can't end up evens.
No.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
if you was to get them 2 and the keeper, it's evens, no? My maths is out.
No, I failed, Matt, and you're wrong.
Oh, wow.
Is it,
yeah?
No.
Right. Yeah, my bad.
And you're not taking that out.
That's definitely
100% staying in.
I want this as a pair now. So we're not doing individual.
Can I go first?
As a pair.
Can I be honest? What a gentleman. Thiago Alcantara, I feel like he's been very overhated since he's joined the league, and also just because maybe he's not hitting the standards of what he was at Bayern because of his numbers, which, by the way, he was never getting.
And maybe that when he came over, you lot gassed him up so much that you've now...
And rightly so. Rightly so. He was top 3 midfielders in the world when we bought him, and I still think he's in that conversation.
100%. Are you doing a pair, or are you just going to...
Well, that's my first shout.
If you're putting Thiago on the table, I'm almost definitely going to agree with you, depending on who you're saying next.
And then the next one has got to be my captain, Jordan Hendo Nino, captain of my football club, led us to multiple trophies.
Mateo Kovacic, that has been totally overlooked.
I really like Kovacic as well.
Yeah. The way that he carries the ball is fantastic. The way that he transitions into attack is brilliant. I think the decision is yours, because I think it's Kovacic plus... there is no other Chelsea player I'm going to put on the table.
I don't
like this.
I don't think...
My head's stressed, mate.
Because
Kovacic gets in ahead of Henderson, but he might get in ahead of Thiago. Thiago's not hit his full...
No, he has.
He has. James. He hasn't,
not his full potential, but he's been world class. Can we?
He has, mate. They all have, to be honest. By the way, we're arguing against all world class players.
You know when Liverpool won the league in 20? That year, I remember arguing that Jordan Henderson was the best player of the league that year.
You know what? I'm stressing over it, and it's only because you mentioned to me Thiago and Kovacic in the same midfield.
Yeah.
That would be insane.
Nobody
for
could
my
get the ball off
eyes.
those.
For my eyes, that would be unbelievable.
Xavi and Iniesta, isn't it?
Oh, stop it! But if we're going off the logistics of what these midfielders bring, what they've done, I'm going to go with Henderson and Thiago, and I'm not changing my mind.
Like this is all up to me, yeah? This last bit,
these two players are up to you.
I mean, that's why you were brought here today, like.
I'm going to be totally frank as well. You haven't been a very good definitive judge.
Because it's been so easy, mate, to be honest with you.
Hey, you couldn't
like, the things I have said is just for a bit of TV. and what I do want to say is, for me, it's Hendo.
Okay.
It's Hendo there.
So now you've made a really difficult... Now you've put yourself in a really difficult position.
This bit's easy. It's easy. Kovacic's had one good season. He hasn't lost a game.
This is it. You know what? It's easy.
That's because you've bought into the propaganda.
No way.
He said one good season, and you went, yeah. He won the league. He won the Champions League last year. How can he have one good season when he won the Champions League last year? He won the Club World Cup
you're
this
welcome, SPORTbible. I got it for you.
Good season.
If I'm not doing this season, then you can't not put
be the man
Thiago
you want to
there.
be.
You've got to try and make this a 20-minute video.
Stevo, this is your moment. You need to be who you can be.
This is what it's here,
People are going to watch this and they're going to judge you on this.
Yeah.
Be the man you want to be. Carpe this, Diem.
It's Coventry, he's right. Thiago, for me, James.
You just got to get in his ear quick. You see what you do?
Hang on, don't do it. Hang on, Geez, don't do that. Whoa.
Look, one thing now, changing mind again.
Exactly, don't do that. Sorry, Geez, I'm sorry. And I hope he does next year become the Thiago that we all want him to be. But this year he hasn't been, Geez. Yeah, and not only that, he was crying the other day on live TV.
Give me my counter.
There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've still got one as well, lad. Nice one.
Hendo, Captain Marvel.
Hendo.
There you go.
Okay.
We are down to the final position, goalkeeper. Now, for me, you got two of the very best in this position in the world.
I mean, Edouard Mendy is the best goalkeeper in the world at the moment. He's the champion of the world, champion of Europe, champion of Africa.
He's just a champion.
He's a champion. He is a champion.
I am so. You said to me before we actually started talking about this proper, this is going to be easy. I genuinely believed from all of my heart that you were going to say, Alex.
No, when I said
it's going to be
when I said it's going to be easy,
you thought that.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be easy because I thought you were going to go Mendy.
Nah, mate. Alisson on the ball is better. He's a better shot stopper than Mendy.
Alisson is obviously a brilliant goalkeeper, but I think the player that he was, 19, 20, he was a better goalkeeper then. He didn't have a particularly good season last year. He had a very rocky season last year. By his own standards.
He had a rocky spell. And that was the first rocky spell that he's ever had since he's joined the Premier League. Otherwise, from that rocky spell, maybe one mistake this season. I'm sorry, Alisson has been flawless, mate. Let's fast forward this week. You've put your case for Mendy.
Yeah,
you
come
know
on,
you want to go Mendy.
yeah.
I'm Alisson. What are you going with, Stevo? Come on, Stevo.
Come on, mate. Just make a decision while we're still young.
Mendy's trajectory.
I don't even know what that word means.
Trajectory, but why not?
Trajectory.
Yeah.
Is that what you're on about? Sorry, Stevo. No more carry on, lad. Ain't for effort, my mate. Know what I mean? You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take.
English is like Dizzy Rascal.
Bruv, I'm sorry. Yeah? Mendy is just a beast.
One sec, wait, whoa. I'm just trying to find the will to live. No, I can't find it.
Bruv, come on.
I can't find it. That is a travesty.
I'm sorry. I think Mendy nicks it, mate.
Thank you very much.
And on top of that, the fact that we're seeing 4 blue counters in this team just goes to show that already we're losing the credibility of the show.
I think we've done a good job here.
I think this is a great 11.
I think you've pulled off a masterclass here.
Well done. What a team this is. We got there in the end, didn't we?
Cheers.
I think cheers to that.
Played, lads.
Nice one.
Cheers indeed.
Declan Rice.
But you've got to talk about the context of how dominant Man City have been. I'm not saying these teams win
the Invincibles and Man United.
It's easy to say the Invincibles. It's easy to title a story better than what it is. It's easy to give a headline that's going to draw eyes, of course, the Invincibles. But Manchester City, we're talking about a team that got 100 points, Rory. When you talk about someone who can talk to Sir Alex overall outside the Premier League, Pep Guardiola's your man.